Hello and welcome back to the Sam Beast YouTube channel. My name is David Foxen, and as always, before we start, please do not forget to like and subscribe this video. Subscribe to the channel, it really does help out. And as I say every video, but the growth keeps growing. We're growing a lot at the moment, and your support is massively appreciated. Now, we've got some serious things to talk about today, people, okay? Legal action in the ITAM world. Yep. I know. We've got a lawsuit between VMware and the US entity of AG Siemens. Siemens are a huge organization, a big global organization. And in the US District Court in Delaware, VMware have issued a lawsuit against them over under licensing their software, aka they have been non-compliant. Now, this all actually triggered through Siemens wanting to use extended support for some of their VMware products. Taking legal action against one of your customers is typically a last resort for software publishers. They do not want to go that way, but they obviously feel like the damage has been done, that there is no reconciling that relationship, and that the US branch of Siemens is just proactively not wanting to be compliant or helping out with this. So like I said, all started when Siemens wanted to use some extended support with VMware, and that then triggered all of these events. Now, the Register have reported, and I'm going to quote this, there'll be a link to this article in the description box, that on September the 9th, 2024, Siemens apparently produced a list of VMware software it used and demanded that VMware accept the purchase order to provide maintenance and support services for the listed products. I mean, that is definitely a case of going, yes, VMware, you will accept the purchase order for what we're placing. Forget about whether we're compliant or not. This is our purchase order. This is what we're ordering. You will accept it. Of course, VMware turned around and said, no. And to use a famous phrase recently, we hold the cards here, not you. And this is where VMware state that the list provided by Siemens is nowhere near what they've got. And actually what they've deployed from a VMware standpoint far exceeds the number of licenses that they do actually have and have already purchased. There's lots of ways to identify the use of unlicensed software. Vendors have all sorts of tools. It's in your interest as an end user to provide an accurate list, okay? There's no point in hiding things. There's no point in missing things out. They will find it, and that's just going to end up worse for you as the end user than if you were just open and honest and upfront, as we can see by the lawsuit that's going on right now. So they say that Siemens had very good reasons to present an accurate list because mentioning unlicensed products would expose it to legal peril, and overstating the extent of its VMware usage would mean it paid more for licenses and support. So Siemens basically provided the list of software that they're providing. Again, please be open and honest when you've been triggered by an audit. Make sure you're providing all the data they require. VMware then reviewed this list, they claim, and noticed it included unlicensed software. They subsequently informed Siemens of their findings, and then Siemens responded saying that this is actually incorrect. They demanded, Siemens this is, then demanded that VMware accept what they have sent over to them, and even threatened to sue VMware themselves if they did not provide the support for the services that they listed against the products that they wanted extended support for. Siemens felt they had the grounds to sue because it had options to purchase the one-year renewal of support services, which they had believed it had exercised, and that they felt that VMware were not delivering. So VMware then said that they agreed to offer the support for 30 days under protest, and because they obviously didn't want to disrupt BAU. Fair enough. That's okay, good. Siemens then went back, looked at their list, and started to make some changes. They then attempted to retract that list of the applications that they were using and the extended support that they wanted, and then provide a newer list, which was more in line with what VMware thought they had from a compliance perspective. So this has then evolved into VMware wanting to do a formal audit. Siemens rejected that. VMware naturally says in their thing that other customers do audits and are more forthcoming and cooperative, etc., etc. Of course, they would say that because they're a software publisher and they do a lot of audits, and there probably are a lot of customers that are very compliant. There's a whole host of videos on YouTube, especially by like Sam Expert TV, etc., who tell you what you should be doing in the event that you receive an audit letter. And yeah, one of the big things is don't ignore it, and try and get it through as smoothly as possible sending all the data that you're required to send. Do not hide anything, because they will find it. It will get progressed into potential legal action, which damages your reputation, has people like me doing videos on why you're now being sued by a software publisher. But anyway, yeah, wouldn't do an audit, etc. So VMware felt they were left unable to actually determine what their compliance position is, what they're actually using, and fearing the use of unlicensed software, Broadcom's virtualization business unit felt it had no option but to sue. The register, this is a really good article. You can have a look in all of the information there. VMware want a jury trial, etc., etc. There's obviously been a lot of changes in the VMware licensing space, and in the future we will have a VMware guru coming on a big interview in the summer. That is obviously, like we said at the beginning, typically last chance resort. They've tried everything that they can, the software publisher. They're not getting any cooperation. They feel like that relationship with the customer is completely deteriorated. There's no coming back from it. So they feel the only option is to take legal action and sue. Again, we've seen this a number of times in the past, and it really is a last resort, and quite sad to see that it get to this stage, rather than dealing with it and, you know, managing it internally without it going to the press, without it going everywhere. Obviously, like we said, there's been a lot of changes in the VMware space. So again, that just adds further fuel to the fire. But this was looking for extended support on existing product sets, which Siemens believe that they are able to do. Be really interesting to see how this one evolves, what happens. We'll, of course, keep an eye on it and update you if there's any further proceedings in this one. But we haven't had a good, juicy, big headline news from a software compliance and audit perspective for a long time. So, of course, I thought it'd be really interesting to make a video on it. Also, really to highlight that software audits are still a big thing. There seems to be some organizations out there that feel like they're a big enough brand to not have vendor audits. Absolutely not the case. Vendor audits are massively on the increase. Software product prices are on the increase. Licensing changes are on the increase. And budgets are on the decrease. So that's mixing all of that together, you're just creating a big old fire where software publishers are increasing their prices for products that you've already been using for a long time. You don't have the budget to stretch to that, and it's the whole back and forth. But their software audits are a very big thing. They haven't died off. They haven't gone quiet because of SaaS or whatever. Lots of changes are prompting said audits, especially with the likes of VMware, Oracle, IBM, etc., Microsoft. Lots of audits still going on. Please don't be naive in thinking that just because you're a well-known organization that you are exempt from any software audits, because you're not. It's just fact. A link to the Register's article about this will be in the description box. Keep an eye on it. Hope you do too, just to see what the outcome is. If they ever do publish what the outcome is, that'll be really interesting. And of course, if it does go to court, that'll also be extremely interesting and big news in the ITAM world. Really hope you found this video useful and interesting. Don't forget, you are not exempt from software audits. I don't care what your organization is. You are not exempt from it. Don't think that you are. And until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and happy ITAMing. Stay compliant.